Hey everybody, it is Thursday, means it's time for your Thursday Thought. And I wanted to take a minute and share a thought with you about how critical it is to work with a lender prior to really getting deep into the home buying process. I'm going to share really just kind of 2 or 3 examples on things that have happened to me over my career that kind of illustrated this point. Number 1, I have worked with some clients who say, oh yeah, no problem, I'm great, I've been in the same job for a long time, I make good money, I don't have a lot of debt, yada, 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 yada. And so we kind of embark on this journey where we're looking at homes, and all of a sudden then they put the application in a bit later than maybe they should have, and something comes up on their credit report that they had no idea even existed. Totally fraudulent or not applicable. It wasn't them, but then they spend the next 5 weeks dealing with the credit reporting companies to get that stuff removed so they could get qualified. But and thankfully, it wasn't a major obstacle, but it did set everything back, and they missed out on some homes that they really liked throughout that process. So just even if you think you're in great financial shape and there's not going to be any issues, it's still super, super critical that you kind of establish that relationship with your lender, and that you go down that path. Number 2, what has happened to me is buyers sometimes aren't really aware 100% what they can afford, or more importantly, what they're comfortable affording. And so I have worked with a buyer, and I even recently had it when I had a listing, was that the buyer was approved for X amount of money for buying a house, went out there, made an offer under contract, but when they started to receive the loan disclosures on that particular property, a combination of the purchase price, the interest rate, the taxes, the HOA if applicable, the insurance, all of a sudden they started to see what their real payment was going to be, and they got gun shy of that number, which is ultimately good. I'm a big believer that your house should be a blessing, not a curse, and that you should always be comfortable with the amount that you're outlaying every month to live in that house. But it happens, and so it's really important to work with a lender to do some scenarios with them and say, hey, if I were to buy a house in this price range and the insurance was X and the taxes were Y and I had net HOA of W, what would my final payment be? So we can really make sure that we're focusing in on a budget that makes sense for you. Because I think there's a big disconnect between those auto calculators on Zillow and Redfin and all the other ones, between what you actually end up paying. So it's real important to understand what you're getting into. And then obviously 3, the one you're hearing from a lot of realtors, especially in this market, is you're not even in the game of buying a house until you get approved with a lender and have a pre-qualification letter. And also, if you are a W-2 employee, you've been the same employer for a long time, you have a good stack of cash in your bank account, and your credit's good. You're kind of in that golden borrower scenario. But if you break the rules on any of those, you're new to the area, you haven't had your job for a long time, maybe your credit score isn't the greatest, maybe you don't have that stack of cash in the bank. Even if one of these 5 or 6 pillars that really makes you a golden borrower is weak, it'd be great to work with a lender to see what we can do to shore up that part of your financial profile to really make you look like a great borrower and make sure that the package that is presented to the bank is a good one. So again, for lots of different reasons, it is critical that you work with a lender right from the beginning, and to make sure that your home buying process is smooth and that it's a good experience for you, a good experience for the person you're buying the home from, and then of course a good experience for the realtors on both sides as well. So it's super, super critical. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions about what it may look like to work with a lender or to talk to a lender, to look at the home buying process, I'd of course love to be an asset to you. Please reach out, shoot me a message, give me a call, send me an email, send me a text. I'm available. Thanks so much. Hope you're well. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Thursday Thought, and we'll see you next week on next week's Thursday Thought. Ciao.